Hello, welcome Aries. I hear my cat already meowing in the background. Well, we'll get to him in a second, won't we? Aries, I did a love reading for your collective earlier. Chi-Chi. Come on, Chi-Chi. He's like going meow, meow. Anyway, that's what they do. They do meow, meows. So Aries, if you're interested, I did do a general reading for love on the energies right now. You can check that out. And I had the second part. I did do Cancer already, but it's no big deal to do Cancer again. That's where my video went. So Aries, just because since I already started doing your reading for love, let's continue all the way. And I guess we could start off with Cancer again. We'll start off with water and then we'll go through all the 12 zodiac signs. Aries, for these readings, if you'd like to visualize along with me, they are the pink energy. So imagine pink and all the vibrations that are associated with that. So love, definitely, caring, understanding, empathy, wanting to see someone at their best, wanting to raise up someone to be their best, wanting to be at your best for someone else. For these energies or these readings, Aries, they could be romantic. They could be also too platonic, right? When you're starting off with a base energy, with that pink energy of compassion and understanding, it doesn't necessarily have to connotate romantic type of things. It could be just simply the attraction of one person to another. So you could also definitely use these for friendship. Now, this could be someone who you know, someone who you have yet to meet, someone who you know and are not speaking to, someone who you are dealing with, all those connotations. And with that in mind, we'll revisit Cancer again, go onto the water, and see what other signs come up as they come up. So Aries, if you meet a Cancer, if you're dealing with a Cancer, 6 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles comes out, Emperor says hello, which is in Aries energy. That's quite loaded there already. If you're dealing with a Cancer, Cancer is going to be very guarded. Cancer is not sure of their own feelings or what exactly they'd like to convey expectations that they have to you. Maybe too, Cancer could be feeling the expectations you have of them. They're not sure what they want to do about it, how they want to act on it, what they could do about it, and where, if they do go forward, where will that put them? If you're dealing with a Cancer, I feel like Cancer has a pretty good idea, something about what you want from them or how they would what they could expect to go and get from your relationship. And Cancer's not sure if they want to go down that. So that's the energy if you're dealing with a Cancer. Aries, if you are dealing with a Pisces. A Pisces for Aries. I feel like if you're dealing with a Pisces, Aries, both you and Pisces have some pretty strong ideas of what they want to do, where they want to go, how you want to do it. And I don't know if there is a lot of buy-in or if they found that in the past, ultimately with what they want to do is not really how other people would like to operate. Maybe that's something that you found, Aries. Maybe that's something that Pisces has found. If you're dealing with a Pisces, things are going to take time precisely because both of you have such very definite ideas about what you ultimately want to do with your life outside of, partnership. But the path that you would like someone to join with you in partnership. And maybe your ideas are different, their ideas are different. Maybe there's also in this energy, maybe Kwikwi-chan, quiet Kwikwi-chan. Maybe I don't know why all my cats are meowing right now. My cat is so cute. What was I saying here? With you and Pisces, Aries, it's also in this energy that perhaps I feel like this is this is a little misconstrued here, but there could be a feeling either on Pisces end or your end, possibly both, that someone has to go and give up their ideas or their hopes in order to acquiesce to the other, and that there is friction upon it. I do think in the energy with you and Pisces, if you go and are patient with Pisces, you can find that both of you can go and pursue and have support for your dreams together collaboratively. But I think in the beginning or right now, there's a friction of whose ideas or who takes priority. There's like an alpha and beta type of energy that both of you are kind of expecting, especially on Pisces, and expecting to wrestle with, and Pisces is not willing to acquiesce. And I think the time period there with Pisces is understanding that you don't really have to acquiesce. Both of you can thrive and succeed with support from another while still holding on to your own dreams. You can work that out with Pisces, but it needs time. Chi-chi. Now, let's go and see Scorpio. Well, Johnny, if you'd like a personal reading, you can make a donation. Otherwise, I invite you to listen back to what kind of energies for love and friendship are in the Aries collective. So, Aries, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, that will be a Scorpio sun Scorpio moon, Scorpio Venus. Maybe Scorpio 7th house. Well, let's go and see an Aries, Scorpio for Aries. I have Temperance, Queen of Cups, if I can get that card out, 10 of Pentacles, interesting. Of course, Tower is Scorpio energy. If you're dealing with a Scorpio Aries, it's like Scorpio has calmed down. Scorpio has made the decision to put down roots. Scorpio wants to put down roots. Scorpio wants to really start building things constructively. Scorpio is looking for the next phase of what their life will be, what their life will hold. Scorpio is in these types of energies, Aries. Scorpio is very receptive to you. Scorpio is really looking for what could be the best that they could create with another, the best that they could be for another. Scorpio sees you in very positive light, Aries. Your energy with Scorpio is very good. Possibly the best out of all the water signs. Thank you for the like. Let's go and see Aries for the next element. We'll do fire. Aries for Leo. Excuse me, a Leo for Aries, not that way around. A Leo for Aries. Let's see. So how is Leo, the Leo collective towards the Aries collective? 6 of Pentacles again. Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Wands, which is Leo energy. Very equalitarian energy here with Leo Aries. You know, it's possible that Leo has realized that they can only get so far on their own, you know, acting on their own ideas, something about being very independent. They can only get so far with no or little support, or not the right support. That's kind of the background energy of Leo. And it's like with you right now, Aries, Leo's a lot more considerate. 6s may be relevant here to your connection with Leo also too. We're talking about relationship dynamics. To take pride in what you can provide for another, take pride in the care and the understanding, the support of another. Also too, to go and measure your pride or your ability, what you can do to another. This is very considerate energy, very careful energy. Leo's being very deliberate with you, Aries. Leo wants to do the best by you, Aries. Leo is also discovering how to do that. You know, it's kind of a new thing that Leo is in, a new sort of energy, a new phase that Leo is in. But essentially with Leo, I see that Leo overall, their mindset has changed in how they want to be towards others. Also, too, Leo does want to go and have that mutual support that someone gives them. You know, this is a sort of energy that grows. So I wouldn't necessarily expect anything earth-shattering or fast with Leo, but this is something that you can build on slow and steady. Personally, I'm surprised. I will mention this for fire signs, one fire sign collective to another. Just thinking about my own fire placements and how my own sense of timing is. I'm going to say, though, that although the energy looks stable, it looks good, it looks progressive, if you're dealing with a Leo or if you meet a Leo Aries, thinking about my own Aries placements, I'm going to say that this energy, though, feels very long. Like, why does it take this long? You could find that Leo could be trying to go and put down a good foundation for you, but this could feel draggy to you, Aries. This could feel like this is taking too long if you're dealing with a Leo. Leo's ideas of gain and Leo's sense of timing for building that proper, healthy, continual relationship, Aries, to you could feel long-winded. Now, Aries, if you're dealing with a fellow Aries, if you meet a fellow Aries, that Aries to you, Aries, I have Chariot. I have Temperance. I have Five of Swords. If you have been dealing with a fellow Aries, someone is trying to take shortcuts, has been taking shortcuts. Someone's been trying to speed along the process. Someone has been trying to get ahead in unusual ways. We'll just phrase it like that. What exactly are they trying to get ahead on? I'm not really going to go and dig into that, because I have another reading I'm going to do after this one. So I'm not going to touch that. But yeah, if you're dealing with a fellow Aries, or even if you meet an Aries, know that that Aries has been definitely very creative with how they have been progressing. Maybe that Aries has found themselves on the lower, on some shaky ground just in general in their life, and Aries has been slowly been building themselves up from it. But something about with Aries has been building themselves up, but they've also been trying to see how can they do things faster. If Aries can cut corners, or if Aries can do some creative things, whatever those creative things may be, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to go into it. That Aries is doing. And ultimately, I'm going to say, Aries, if you're dealing with a fellow Aries, I think this is bigger than their idea of love. Something about Aries life in general. They need to rise above something to get stability, to get platform, to get breathing space, get fresh air. That's something that this Aries is trying to do. And Aries right now, it has, I feel like saying bigger concerns. You know, Aries wants it all, but Aries hasn't yet realized that they can't go after everything with the same sort of energy and get the same sort of results. But Aries is going to try. Ultimately, that Aries is in an era of acquisition, gain, and hustle. And in this sort of almost desperate energy to grow, to gain, I don't really see how this can be progressive for a stable relationship. Aries, in this energy, Aries, if you meet a fellow Aries, if you're dealing with a fellow Aries, this would be a good person to brainstorm with. And if you are interested in this person, I let this person make sure they get the stability they want first, because in this energy, they can pivot. Maybe you could be a care or concern to them one day. Maybe they just are too busy and have other concerns that would supersede you. You know, it's sort of like that. Thank you for the like. Now, if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, for Aries, let's go and see what we have. Knight of Pentacles. Another Knight, Knight of Swords, and Nine of Cups. A couple things if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, Aries, you know, everybody at the end of the day, Aries wants the same thing. You want to be loved. Thank you for the like. You want to be supported. You want to be respected. You want to be warm or comfortable, climate comfortable. You want to be fed, kept safe from the elements, all these sorts of things, right? You want to be able to work on that what motivates you, and also too that which appreciates you, no matter where you are in the world, and you know how old you are, how young you are, etc. You know, we all basically want the same things: to live well, live nicely. And with you and Sagittarius, both of you definitely have the same goals, and I feel like the same sort of lifestyle in mind. And I feel like with you and Sagittarius, no, it could be quite complementary. It could be. As long as you communicate what those end goals are. But it feels like you and Sagittarius have different ways of going after the same thing. Maybe even too, when you're starting to discuss what you want and what you're building out and what your vision is, maybe the words you would use would even be different, but ultimately both of you want the same thing. In this energy as well, it's like you want the same thing, you're going after it in different ways. Also too, how one person applies themselves to it could be different from the other. Like for instance, with Knight of Pentacles, which could be Sagittarius's energy. I don't know, it depends. One person has an energy of, you know, this is what I want, and they go after it a lot more in a calmer way, and they sort of wait for what they want to be attracted to them, as opposed to going after it. And the other person is there going, I'm going to find out about this now and break the door down. Yes or no, tell me now, so I can go on and move on to other things. I feel like that's going to be the sort of the biggest difference between you and Sagittarius. One person is content to let things come to them, and the other person says, that's a time waster. Let's find out what is viable now, vet it, and move on. One person is definitely more of an active go-getter, the other isn't. It is possible that that could be a little tiring to the person who really wants to go after it. Likewise, too, it's possible that the slower pace, the more calm nature, learning to act as a magnet rather than go after it, could be a welcome change of operating to the one who's at a faster pace. So there is that sort of energy with Sagittarius. Hello. And thank you for the likes. Okay, who do we have next? We did water, we did fire. We have earth and air left, right? Shall we do air? Aries. If you're dealing with a Gemini, thank you for the likes. Aries, if you're dealing with a Gemini, if a Gemini is on your mind, if you meet a Gemini, that Gemini towards you, death. Death is actually one of my favorite cards, Aries. It promises change more than all the other cards in the deck. I actually like the Tower too, because, you know, there's so many cards waxing on Aries about card meanings would be another video. But one thing I really do appreciate about Death and the Tower is they really promise change. Other cards, they initiate it, they promise it, they lay the groundwork for it. You can see and work towards it. But you know that something is actually happening when you get either of these cards, and you have both of them with Gemini. But in this energy with Hierophant, let me say, if you are dealing with a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini, know that that Gemini is really a catalyst, Aries, in general. Gemini also, too, in this energy, Gemini has changed from either their early childhood values or upbringing or location. Something about Gemini has really radically shifted from when they were little. They're not the same people that even maybe with Gemini that their family is, or maybe their old time friends. Something about Gemini in this energy, Aries, Gemini has been expanding themselves constantly and very deliberately working towards an ideal of how and who they want to be. So it feels like in this energy, while Gemini has been making or has made some really radical shifts in how they started out originally, it feels like that's sort of Gemini's, I'm not going to quite say Gemini's gift, but definitely in Gemini's energy. Gemini is a catalyst. If you're dealing with a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini, because Gemini has this swirl of energy that creates change. As I said, it's not even a gift that Gemini has. It's in Gemini's it's in Gemini's aura. That I feel like if you're dealing with a Gemini, if you meet a Gemini, you are also going to undergo some changes. And the way what Gemini will challenge is precisely, well, how you see life, how you operate in life, what you value. That's going to be challenged, not necessarily for good or for bad. You're just going to go and see other ways of operating, other values that you didn't really consider before, that either some things that you held very important to you before, I see them fading away. I see new ones taking their place, new values superseding that. If you meet with Gemini, you're going to have more things that you care about or things that you didn't really think were important before. They're going to become very, very important to you now, Aries. And I would say that in this energy, it's not really about you and Gemini, but it's more like while being with Gemini, you realize what is truly important to you or important to you right now. And that's going to color, thank you for the like, that's going to color how you and Gemini proceed. All right, that's the energy with you and Gemini. Aries, let's go over to Libra. Aries, if you meet a Libra, if you're dealing with a Libra, that Libra and you, that Two of Cups behind a Five of Swords is interesting, but let's go and get the full. full message here. Doing Libra, right? Aries, I actually read my queens as cardinals, so a Queen of Wands to me is Aries. So I have Queen of Wands, Six of Wands, 5 of Swords. Okay. Doing Libra. If you are dealing with a Libra, Aries, I feel like Libra understands something about you. Now, I don't know if Libra knows how to push some buttons towards you, Aries, to get a specific reaction. It doesn't have to necessarily be a positive reaction, but they know what, they can tell what kind of person you are and what would flatter you, what would not flatter you. Just by something about the way you hold yourself. Libra knows what kind of person you are. Libra also knows how you operate. Libra wants to present themselves to you in a certain type of light. Aries, Libra also too in this energy could find themselves a little bit manipulative towards you, Aries. They like you, but they could also feel in this energy, Aries, that you are very confident, very self-assured, very intelligent, and it's almost like in this energy that Libra is playing off what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you resonate towards, what would engage you. Libra has an idea of what to say to make you react in favorable terms to them. So whether or not with what they say could be entirely accurate, I feel that there's something here. Maybe they make things seem better than they are. Maybe they compliment you more than they should. There's something about here that Libra is doing because they want to impress you. They want to have you like them as much as they like you. But ultimately, too, I'm going to say that in this energy, Libra is kind of playing games with you, Aries. Libra wants to present themselves so much in the best light to you that they're not really presenting who they are to you. And also, too, Aries, a little unfair that in this energy, Libra is, kind of manipulating you. I mean, we all could say that we manipulate certain things in certain ways. Like when I give my cats treats to do something, I'm manipulating them, right? Still giving them a treat, but I'm giving them a treat with conditions. I don't know. Hello. Yes, I just see that there's lots of affinity, like Libra likes Aries, and there's in a desire to impress, a desire to create attraction, attention, engagement. That energy just sort of builds up. Anyway, let's go on to the next air sign. That would be Aquarius. And Aquarius for Aries. Let's see. What do I have for Aquarius placements with Aries placements? I want that card. 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups, the Devil, and 6 of Wands. If you're dealing with an Aries, if you're dealing with an Aquarius Aries, well, Aquarius likes you. Aquarius has a very great opinion of themselves. Maybe Aquarius is used to receiving lots and lots of love, Aries. Aquarius is used to being or knowing how to please people. Maybe they have in here, we could say, unlike Gemini's catalytic energy, we can say that here Aquarius does have a gift. Aquarius has a gift to resonate with people. Aquarius has a gift to draw people in. Aquarius, if Aquarius puts out the effort for it, can probably charm a good portion of people across the board, maybe in a wide set of circumstances, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be, friendship. Maybe in this energy too, Aquarius knows that even with people who they would not want to engage in, if they act a certain way or say certain things, they can really draw anybody, any type of person to be warm and friendly with them at the least. Aquarius knows how to work people, how to draw people, how to magnetize people to them, and also too to let their guard down, so that Aquarius can go and find out more. That's kind of the basic energy of Aquarius. We have somebody here who's very attractive to others, and they work at it. They have a gift for it. They can also develop it and magnify that gift. So with you and Aquarius Aries, Aquarius knows how to resound with people, knows how to pull people in, how to attract people. And Aquarius is very confident of that ability. Aquarius is very interested in you, Aries. I see Aquarius trying to get closer to you, trying to see, I don't want to quite say trying to see what they can get from you, Aries, but there still is an element of that. What exactly are they liking you for? I don't quite know. Of course, Three of Wands is Aries energy. I think that's kind of up to you, Aries, to go and set the boundaries of what do you want from Aquarius? How do you want Aquarius to be towards you? It's not enough to have necessarily good feeling and good vibration and a great rapport, etc., etc. With Aquarius, you need to go and look, Aries, at the longer term picture if you want something longer term, and how do you want that to look and to convey that. Because also too, in this energy with Aquarius, it's very immediate, very now. As long as it feels good, let's continue, or as long as I can do this, let's continue. And Aquarius is very much in the moment of here now, because, and it's up to you in this connection to direct that. Otherwise, then you just have a whole bunch of really good feeling, but where is that good feeling coming? And ultimately, as I said, Aquarius in this energy is like a people charmer. Yeah, that's what they can do that as naturally as breathing. Hello. So something to keep in mind if you're dealing with an Aquarius, if you meet an Aquarius. I think we did all the air signs. We did Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and we only have Earth left. Let's go and see Capricorn. Why not see Capricorn? A Capricorn for Aries. Okay, Ten of Swords. Two very strong individuals again. Aries, you and Capricorn. Essentially, you and Capricorn, I'm not exactly seeing the best energy between you two, mainly because, well, you really have different goals and priorities right now. What you're working for, Aries, is not the same thing of what Capricorn is working for. And there could be friction, there could be headbutting on that. Also, too, in this energy, maybe Capricorn could feel, Aries, if you did deal with them, that they would want you to go and help and aid their goals, their ideas, or even their timetable and their plans and events, right? It doesn't have to be as major as sometimes, sometimes with Tower energy, it makes it blow up a little bit more larger in scale than it has to be. This could even be like, who does what on what days, right? Do you go for a day trip? Do you, I don't know, just meet at a coffee shop? I don't know, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be that magnetized, that big. But definitely you and Capricorn have different ways of doing things, different plans, different ideas. And I would say that Capricorn would like you to go and support them in their ideas. And there's some, you just operate very differently. Two independent souls. And I don't really see Capricorn necessarily acquiescing or supporting as they should. Maybe they'll support somewhat, but not as they should. With Capricorn and you right now, I see both of you being best at pursuing your interest independently right now. Let's go and see. No, my readings are open. So this could be someone who you'll meet. Manus. It could be someone who you'll meet. It could be someone who you already know. And it could be someone who you are speaking with, are dealing with, or someone who you haven't been in contact with. If there's more precise messages, I will list them out. But yeah, they're general like that. It could also be too, it doesn't necessarily have to be readings for romantic interest. It could also be your friends too. But the energy is definitely for these readings would be like for the Aries collective. I see anyone with strong Aries energy, but also an Aries Venus. And for these readings, they can go down to a sun sign, a Venus sign, a moon sign. Maybe a Jupiter too, if you feel Jupiter. So let's go and see. Let's see, we did Capricorn. Let's do Taurus. A Taurus for Aries. Page of Wands. Queen of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. We said Taurus, right? Two of Wands is Aries energy. Aries, if you're dealing with a Taurus, I actually see some really great energy here. I think both of you are in the similar type of vibration. Both of you ultimately want the same things. You're building towards the same things. And I think you and Taurus have beautiful energy. Beautiful energy. If you have your eye on a Taurus, I would say that that Taurus has probably had their eye on you too. And if not, then I would say that Taurus has been waiting to go and meet someone like you, Aries. Something about you and Taurus. You have really great energy, really stable energy. I think things move at a very nice pace between you two as well. And I think that's nice energy, you and Taurus. Let's go on to our final sign, and that's Virgo. A Virgo for Aries. Six of Swords. Sun. Nine of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. Virgo is used to being independent, Aries. Could be some point in time, Virgo, something about depending on others or being emotionally vulnerable or open to others, something at some point in time. It could even be not even something that Virgo experienced personally. It could be something that Virgo has seen, has kind of led Virgo to be very independent, very strong. So if you're dealing with a Virgo, know that Virgo is very independent. It's not even like in this energy too with Virgo that if you asked Virgo to help, I mean, Virgo could help, Virgo is capable of helping, but I think Virgo would move a little slow simply because there's something about Virgo's back energy, historical energy, that makes them cautious to open up to others, and it also makes them cautious to be available to others, to have others depend on them. Something about Virgo is very skittish about vulnerability. Virgo doesn't like to be vulnerable. So ultimately, I feel like, Aries, if you're dealing with a Virgo, Virgo should seem very, very appealing, very, very appetizing, very, very friendly, maybe very, very gracious. But in Virgo's energy, Virgo will only let you get so close so soon and go so far. Virgo will have all the right elements of seeing that this could be something, but Virgo will drag it out. Virgo has their own timetable, and that timetable, Aries, possibly, very possibly could not be yours. But that's Virgo's energy. Virgo is someone who is going to look very appealing, seem really great, but Virgo is highly independent. Virgo is cautious about who do they allow to come close with them. And you're going to have to go a very long distance, a very long time, establish history with Virgo before Virgo starts to open up to you, Aries. Now, what timing is relative, right? My timing is different from your timing, and so forth and so on. What feels long to me could feel very short to you, and vice versa. But I guarantee you, in Virgo's energy and what Virgo needs, unless you have significant Virgo placements yourself, Aries, that's going to feel long. As I said, Virgo will allow you to come only so close at a certain amount of time, and then they'll allow you to come closer and closer with the right amount of vetting from Virgo. So those are the readings that I have. See, I have a bunch of comments. What do I have? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Johnny, but Johnny, yeah, I would need a personal donation for that. to pull on personal energy, because it's an interchange of that. So I do a lot of collective readings. I do invite you to go and check out the collective readings and see what the messages are. I get quite a variety of them. The love readings I pull for love, but the other readings I do, I leave that up to whatever message comes out. And hello, everybody. Hello, Tabitha. Hello, Jared. You just had a reading. Shadow beings, interesting. You know, there's a sculpture. This is a sculpture that's done on a shadow being right here. So that's something that was made. Of something that was about 6 or 7 feet tall, and as it moved, it shimmered. It moved like almost a whole bunch of different timing, like kind of like as it moved, it spanned out. And this was on top of a hill, and it was coming towards me in the winter. Anyway, thank you everyone again for your likes, and I'm going to jump on to another reading. So I'll see you possibly all there. Bye-bye.